Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Today is Monday, February 24th, and you are in the Java Cafe. Welcome to the Java Cafe this morning. I am James Jimmy Hills. I am your host this morning. Thank you for being with us. Let me just get things set. All right, we're all good here. It is Mental Health Monday, and I'm going to take a perspective today regarding mental health in reference to politics. There's a lot going on, and whether we want to admit it or not, there is an impact on our mental health. And so we're going to talk about that today. And we're also going to talk about the threat of the immigration deportation czar that he made toward Commissioner Cox, who is the police commissioner in the city of Boston. And there has been a lot of social media commentary in reference to the czar's threat against Commissioner Cox. Mayor Wu issued a statement. And I'm going to be 100 in an election year, in where the city council has codified that this is basically a sanctuary city. Is that still going to be the case if there are any changes in the council and or the administration? That's something we have to think about. And we're going to get into it in just a few moments, but we're going to go into the Java Cafe over on Facebook and see who is in the room this morning. Michelle D. Smith is in the room this morning. Good morning to you. Good to see you in the room. Miss Teresa, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Hope you got the double E's off the school properly. Shout out to all the parents that had to get their kids back to school this morning. Anthony Davis, as you all know, his birthday was on Friday, and we celebrated him. Thank you for everybody that blew up his notifications. Shout out to Leslie, who was over on Instagram. Sister Debbie, good morning to you. Good to see you in the room. Sharon Cornelius, good morning to you. Where's your cup? Miss Teresa said, just shameful. Tyrone, good morning to you. Good to see you in the room this morning as well. Also, Mama Java is it. There we go, Sharon. That's more like it. Mama Java is in the room as well. Good to see you in the room, Mama Java. So do me a favor. I was told the other day, and I don't do it every day. I kind of do it maybe 2 or 3 times a week. Right now, everybody on Facebook, maybe for the couple of people that are on Twitter, hit that share button. Hit the share button. Invite others to come in. Leave us for a second. Hit the share. Let it go. Hit post and invite others into the Java Cafe this morning. Dina, good morning. Good to see you in the room this morning as well. So it's Mental Health Monday. And I said we're going to talk about mental health and politics. And there, whether we want to admit it or not, there is a huge impact on our mental health. And I would also say, Shay, hi, beautiful. Good one. This is one of my old young people from back in the day, from the Read to Lead program at Demick Community Health Center. And, oh, Jesus, what year was that? We brought in 200 young people, teenagers. I think they had to be 14 and 15. And was it, Shay, it was 200 of them, right? And we put them in Head Start classrooms to read to young people. Shay, good to see you in the room this morning, and proud of everything that you're doing and the woman that you have become. And so anyway, let me stay focused on politics and mental health. There's an impact, especially, I want to first say and remind us, and Nisi, it is very real. And to my point here, that I have since November been very intentional about balancing staying woke and also not re-traumatizing. What if we watch the news and what's going on? I don't want to keep reiterating it here, but to Nisi's point, to feel like this, that is an impact on our mental health. So we're going to get into it in just a few minutes. Do me a favor, though, before you do, and if this is a factor and or influence on your mental health, please feel free to allow that to inform your one word. It's Monday. It's Mental Health Monday. And what we do, and actually a month from Saturday, well, wait a minute. Hold on. Today's the 24th. Okay. If you know me, it's about to get really real. All right. So 1 month from today, we will celebrate 5 years of Java with Jimmy. I already gave y'all a warning 2 weeks ago. The closer we get, my heart is sitting up here going, 5 years of holding down this space. So anyway, somewhere in 2020 on Mondays, we started asking folks to put one word in the comments that lets us know how you're feeling. And in 2020, we were feeling some sort of way. I want to also name that this is about the time when we were finding about COVID-19 and the coronavirus. 5 years. When you talk about anniversaries and birthdays and job anniversaries, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, odd, even, integers of 5, they're significant. And so I want to name that, not just Milagro says she needs to. Milagro is I'm sorry, Nisi. I thought that was Milagro. She does enough to get herself in trouble in here. And Alexa is at 0, Milagro, just for your information. 5 is very significant. And a lot of people are going to be reminded of the politics and things that contribute to the loss of life of many. And so as we are approaching our anniversary, it can go without saying that we are also in that season. And let me just reiterate and remind people of a couple of things. We had a presence on social media for years, going live, sometimes in a very passionate, activist, 4-letter, couple of them, words, space. As we were becoming aware of COVID-19, I would go live here and there. If you all remember, we actually did a whole commercial about Stop the Spread before we did the professional commercial. I hit some people and said, hey, can you just send me a video? And I spliced it together on my phone. And so this platform was started in keeping us aware. Had been going live for a few days, and on March 24th, the day after the governor told us to stay home. And I need to remind you all of who and where I will be with on the anniversary. Felt that. Very interesting. So we went live that morning, one of our biggest gatherings, and also because everybody was home. It was the first day. And at the end of that session, my mother observing that we, it wasn't every morning that day. But at the end of the show, my mother said, well, basically, I don't know if this was her thinking, but all right, you've been coming on every morning. Is this going to be an everyday coffee hour? No, but if y'all are going to be here and feel that there's a need, we'll come together. And y'all remember at that time, 2 weeks, 2 months, maybe, And so every day for the first year, every single solitary day, sometimes twice a day, sometimes at night, in reference to our brother Bum, a couple of times in some very tragic and interesting situations. Just a side note, because we got to balance this with the joy. DL is in the building over on Instagram. Shout out to what he did yesterday. Him and Mayor Michelle Wu and the Equity Cabinet. Shout out to Marty Angeli, Frank, and others that are in that cabinet. The Women's Advancement and the Office of Immigration. They produced a Black History event yesterday. So DL, shout out to you for doing that. And so that's why this platform was started, getting back to my story and point. Got there because it just hit me that 4 years and 11 months on today, we've been gathering in this space. On average so around the first year anniversary, I'll call it an entanglement. And it was expressed, if you all remember, the day after March 25th, I took the day off, I think. And it was expressed to me that, the platform, doesn't allow us to up and leave town. Everything is the platform. Back at that time, I'd be sitting there, or we'd be sitting there talking, chilling, or doing whatever. And before I had a team and organizing, I would, in the middle, oh shoot, I got a show. Oh shoot, I got a meeting. So anyway, and it's interesting, my mother just cited Uncle Thaddeus. During that time, he had called me one day and he had said, "Oh, yo, what's up? Your energy's a little low, and whatnot." And I'll just say, in that time, went down to 2 days a week and almost gave it up, but I allowed I stayed consistent, but the frequency of the consistency slipped. And I'll keep it 100. We broke up. And if y'all go back and look at dates of when we broke up and when I went back to 4 or 5 days a week, it was about the same week within a few days. And so I said that to say that year 2 and 3 probably average, let's say, 4.5 days a week. And so we're in the process of getting hours together. We're in the process of getting minutes together. We're in the process of covering subjects, going back and looking at flyers and shows and YouTube and StreamYard to cite and capture the blessing of being together for 5 years. And so with that, Mondays, we started Mental Health Monday. And all of that past 10 minutes of history that I can clip out later. I just realized, that clip that out later, make that into a social media post. We started Mental Health Mondays. So with that being said, do me a favor right now, and you can consider the impact of politics. And we're going to go into that right now. Put one word in the comments that lets us know how you're feeling on this Mental Health Monday. With that being said, in the subject of mental health and politics, for a lot of our brothers and sisters who have immigrated, who were born in this country, who have served in this country. I heard of one incident, young man in Atlanta, served 2 tours, veteran, is being detained. Our Haitian brothers and sisters received some news last week. Ongoing from the campaign until all of these executive orders, our men and women of trans experience. I'm naming some things to talk about. And I ask you not to really right now consider a lot of the your, I can't say values because values are always important. Your stance, your opinion. What I'm getting ready to ask you to consider in this part of mental health and politics is the impact on the human being on the part of their health that is mental. It's a lot to maintain your mental wellness. And then if you don't have any either diagnosed, unaddressed, and or diagnosed, or I'm sorry, undiagnosed or unaddressed mental illnesses, that's an issue all in itself. But even if you are diagnosed and it being addressed through therapy and psychopharmacology and pills and things to regulate systems, that in general with life is a lot. Then to be, and let's just name a few marginalizations, Black, of immigration status, don't be trans with that. So my point is, on this Mental Health Monday, as I'm getting ready to look for the words, and my good brother is in the, all right, Mario, a little swag picture there. Don't forget to put the word in the comment for how you're feeling today. And hopefully some of you started before I started talking about this. All of this considered, the individual, the human being, there is a mental health impact. And so we have to acknowledge that there is a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of depression. These are very things that are real. And every moment that I get a chance while I'm naming this, I want to be sure that more than anything else, and I'm going to ask Miss Teresa and a couple of other folks that are in the room as I'm talking, if you don't mind helping, if I refer to a link and you have the ability to put that information in the comments in a hyperlink, let's do what we used to do. And so I also want to mention that, you know, if you are not even just with this going on, but if you just feel like there's no one to talk to, you're at just what the old folks used to call wit's end. You're at the end of your rope. And at this point, you don't feel like you can tie a knot and hold on, as some folks used to say. This number right here, 988, call and they'll listen. It is primarily, yes, for those that are trying to prevent death by suicide. Yes. I believe I had them on here, or I've talked to them for sure at the Dee Dee's Cry event, and you can just call and they'll listen. And so we're going to share that off and on, and we're also going to refer to Pure Spark, Naisha Deed. I'm going to publicly apologize to her because I was supposed to schedule her for last week, and we were going to talk about mental health and Java with Jimmy and the impact that this platform and all that comes with it has on my mental health. We're going to talk about it between now and the 24th of March. And so with me naming those things, I had to put up that resource. And so what is it also that we can do to support each other? There are people, first thing, maybe watch our mouth. There are people of Latin, Haitian descents where there are other languages spoken, and for various reasons, whatever, in some workplaces and spaces, folks don't, and some people just study languages. The mayor speaks fluent Spanish. We can watch our mouth around some derogatory comments that we Black folks here may make. Remember, there was the whole conversation about vets and those that have been here and looking for housing and supportive services. And it's real. We asked the governor about it. She addressed it. And there was some very interesting postures and philosophies regarding our migrant brothers and sisters. And let me just say this to the czar and everybody. If you are not of indigenous descent of this land, you really ain't got no business attempting to tell who. Now, I understand legal immigration. We have systems and ways, have systems and ways where people who, through applying for asylum, whose countries are under economic and attack and things like that, there are ways to come into the country. I get it. But once you're here, and let me just side note, some parents have, and we got this word yesterday. If you all remember, I believe it was during the Biden administration, there were a lot of young people that landed here literally and just ended up in the country without their parents. And in this whole deportation movement, and we're going to get to that in the czar's mentioning of Boston in just a few moments. Criminals were to be the target. We got word yesterday in the news that, this administration now is going to have some intentionality around seeking out children who got here without their parents. To have to consider all of that, it's a lot. And so I get the piece about legal immigration and illegal immigration and resources right up the street. We had the conversation about CAS and, programming was switched. There's an impact of all of this. And so what is it that we can do? One, we can share 988 if we know somebody. And I'm not sure, and if somebody can look, well, y'all know me. 988 languages. You can also chat with 988. You can text 988. And it's English and Spanish right now. And so in reference to our Haitian community, if anyone has any resources, City Council President Rusi Lugien reached out the week before last, and I have to get her scheduled. We're going to bring her in, and hopefully, not hopefully, I know she'll come with some resources. She put a post up. And so generally, but specifically to our Haitian community, and a lot of people, y'all see, I'm Haitian adjacent, making epis and my Haitian spaghetti, and there are a lot of us who have friends and family members and people with whom we embrace the culture and love, and just at one point they're not even anything but a brother and sister, and it's just the added bonus that culture and not just them but many come into our circle, come into our country, come into our city. Told y'all a couple of years ago, working with the youth at the YMCA on Huntington Ave, we came up with a t-shirt and a slogan. Immigrants make America great again and make Boston even better. So maybe as it's 1026, that's a good segue for me to be a little seriously petty. And a lot of you may have seen that at the CPAC convention, the deportation czar, I don't know his name. Before I get into this, let me just check the comments, because this is going to be our last subject outside of comments. Rita, good morning. Good to see you in the room. I don't know if I've seen you in before. Welcome. I think so. Terrence, what's up, bro? Shout out to the folks out at Salem State University. I am back with them tomorrow, actually meeting with the Brotherhood. And Terrence, the food is all set. Miss Teresa, thank you so much. I made reference a few minutes ago to Pure Spark. The website is Your Pure Spark. And so please make sure you share that information and check it out if you're looking for a therapist. I'm not sure, but Naisha may have some resources there for other languages. Nicole, good morning. Good to see you in the room. I want to add that watch your mouth and read the room. And you sometimes, to my point earlier, Nicole, you can't read the room. Some people walk up to me, presumption, hola, papa. And I'm like, se habla español un muy poquito. That's about it. Little cuss words and some other thing. All right, let me behave. All right, trolling the comments. Oh, let's go and check status. And so Dina mentioned that she's tired this morning. I don't see a lot of references to how folks are feeling this morning. And so Rita, thanks for the clarity. I thought so. Put one word in the comments, and we're going to go and talk about this czar and his threat. I think I can bring it up and share it with you all, just for some context for those of you that haven't seen it. And let me say one other thing about mental health. So, all right. Now I need my pen, Jesus. This ain't going to be a long show, but I just had a thought. So let me. Okay. Hold on. Let me see if I can bring the video up. But as I was going on the platform that I'm really going to try to get off of soon, but as someone whose business is in social media, a lot of my those that are interested in partnering, they want access to everybody as part of this family. All right. Let's see if we can get the video up. Of course, I'm going to the Real Boston Media's page. Il Neil is in the building over on YouTube. Good to see you, brother. I wish I could bring DJs on here and not get kicked off. Because I would love to have him come in and do a whole set on positive music, Black Power, and all of that. All right, where's the video? Jesus Lord, the Real Boston Media, they be posted. Oh, here we go. All right. I want to. I guess I'll give love to the Legacy Media. All right, hold on. We're going to share it with you in just a second. Hold on, y'all. All right, let me. Oh! All right, now WCBB is putting their they put the either past comments. All right, y'all. How do I oh, there we go. Oh, come on, wait. I need to share it. Now, let me give you all some context about the history of Boston Police Department and this dog whistle to I don't want us to be surprised that in some shape, form, either through formal process or through radicals and vigilantes, this was a dog whistle to the origin of Boston Police Department. Now, most law enforcement entities morphed into protect and serve. And let's keep it 100. In this city, and I can't remember the legislation that codified our sanctuary cityness. The mayor referred to it. Ayanna Pressley did, because I believe it was done when she was on the council or right after. I don't remember what the exact term is. I'm going to look it up. Somebody can look it up and put it in the comments. What was the city hall ordinance that made us a sanctuary city? That's a huge change. They were founded to go and round up slaves. Excuse me. You are talking to a black man who was assaulted by the department in which he served and now has come back. And there's a lot of stuff. He you know, there's the Eddie Crispin stuff and all that. A lot of people upset about that. Ain't perfect. Neither is the mayor. And I'm gonna come back. That's a lot of people. That's my opinion. Nobody's perfect. No administration, no person, no human. No, not one. I'm not gonna get far off on that. You were speaking to a black man that is running the first in the nation's police department that was founded for the purpose of rounding up slaves. Let's hear what he had to say and hear the dog whistle that he made. And shout out to the Real Boston Media for making sure. And I'll see if I can't zoom in. So here's what he had to say.
I read a story last night. The police commissioner of Boston. You said you doubled down on not helping the law enforcement officers of ICE. I'm coming to Boston. I'm bringing hell with me.
We don't care about your immigration status. But what we do care about is, are you a victim of crime in our city, or are you a victimizer, right? So we will hold you accountable for that. And that doesn't matter what your immigration status is.
I looked at the numbers this morning. I stopped counting at nine child rapists that were in jail in Massachusetts.
All right, so let me pause right there real quick and bring some clarity to this man that may not have an understanding of geographics. You can, and the mayor referred to this before some months ago when the guy was running for office. First of all, people that live here that don't live in Boston claim Boston when they go out of town. And y'all know how we feel about that. But, sir, while your numbers may be right, you are conflating a geographical difference. Boston is Boston. You heard what the commissioner said. If you were a victim or a victimizer, that 9 reference, that's the state. Mayor Wu has jurisdiction within the confines of the city of Boston. If there are 1 or 2 here, so misinformation is another thing that this whole thing is doing. And so, to Neil's point, we got the Office of Police Accountability and Transparency. And as I said, everything ain't perfect. Because I know a brother right now that if that office is going in order of numbers of their filing, I ain't going to break nobody's confidence and some access because I'm a commissioner. But that's a good move. And I believe it was done before the commissioner got there. But that's another way he can, along with protecting and serving and doing Sanctuary City, we can walk and chew gum at the same time. And the jurisdiction of OPAT actually, let me not mess up. That's not under him. It can't be. He can't hold himself accountable. So that's something that we need to, during this campaign season, what's going on with OPAT. Okay, let me stay focused. So, sir, to your point, stop giving misinformation and a false narrative. Let's go back and finish and hear his comments.
But rather than honoring an ICE detainer, release them back into the street. You're not a police commissioner. Take that badge off your chest, put it in the desk drawer. Because you became a politician, you forgot what it's like to be a cop.
Understanding the laws here in the state is that we just don't have authority to enforce federal law here, according to our state laws. And these are civil detainers. What people don't understand is there's a difference between criminal warrants and civil detainers. Any criminal warrant, if someone's wanted outside the state and it's a warrant involved, we will absolutely enforce it. Right. We will enforce federal ones if it's a warrant involved, because we're almost mandated to. But civil detainers are the defining line that we just don't do that because it's immigration related.
So, to Neil's point, don't forget Boston. We set the blueprint for policing first in the nation. And I don't know if that's an agreement to my point in its founding. So that's a dog whistle. Now, here is the serious but petty but very real if you're from Boston or you're about to go with me and you understand where I'm going. Similar to when campaign season kind of started off. I saw this clip, looked at the comments, looked at some other comments on social media. And what I will tell you, and I made reference a few minutes ago, no administration is perfect. National, county, state, county, municipal, town, none. A lot of people express their frustration with the Mayor Wu around a lot. However, similar to when cousins can fight in a family, but 2 hours later, if the Uber driver pulls up and gets into an argument with that cousin, those cousins now forget that they just had a beef and they're at the Uber driver. What I have observed, and listen, Boston is just Boston, and we just do what we do, good, bad, and ugly. However, that type of energy and language, let me tell you, on Twitter, Blue Social, on the national stage, politicians, activists, everybody is coming from the sentiment FAFO. People stated, yo, I don't rock, police commissioner, Michelle, she can, do the street bumps and whatnot, but we'll put a bump on their head if they come in here and they think they're going to, so we got to be safe. Now, I said I'm being petty and also real. And this also just gives us a little break about all the negative stuff that I named. But when I tell you that energy that Bostonians are giving back around this threat, and on a serious note, before we get ready to wrap up, let me say this. There is a lot of fear mongering by this administration. Downtown at the State House, and some of you may hear about this, and they did it at a certain time on a Saturday when they know that we're probably just getting up and, the supremacists marched in Boston on Saturday. A Patriot Front, or one of them, was at the State House. The fear mongering, what I mentioned about, potential deputizing, there's still an element of old Boston in City Hall, in the police department, that old racist Boston. And what I don't understand about the old racist Boston, a good portion of them, experience their own prejudice where they were told that they need not apply. So anyway, here's what we need to be cognizant of. Our mayor has been subpoenaed. Our mayor is a woman. I don't trust the czar, the administration, even some undercover racists that are still in BPD. Do not be surprised if the night before, the day before, the day of, or the day after, that Mayor Wu confirms the date and goes to DC to testify, that they attempt to further inflict more fear. A side note in reference to this, and those of you that know me and have known me for a while know me well. My gift is I see some stuff. I can see. Platform started because I saw the disproportionate impact that we saw happen on the Black community during COVID. That's why I sat down that day. if you look at the way this administration is attempting to break down infrastructure, specifically within the government, around our protection, agencies and entities that provide resources to everyone, rural America, the hood, those stricken by poverty and close to the poverty line. And there are people lighter than me that in some of these spaces of these resources have higher numbers than we do. Side note to a side note. This movement and administration is so dedicated to anti-Blackness that they are sacrificing people lighter than me that voted for, that are elderly, that are the aunts, uncles, grandparents, nieces, nephews, trans community, those on food stamps in their districts are being sacrificed because they know at the end of the day, in all of the chaos and all of the cuts, who is most impacted? Us. Look at this legislation around what they're opening European, Africanas, with no disregard, with total disregard for apartheid. So I got off there a little bit because if you all remember, in January of 22, 23, 24, 23, unfortunately, I didn't bring her back this year. Coach Meg introduced the concept to us about integration. And what that concept basically says is, and the example is our elderly. Death, and let me just name this. To our men, specifically in our community, who yet again in the last couple of days are now dealing with triple impact of one of their brothers. I know the past few days, some of you have felt like you ain't gonna make it at wit's end and just what the, and but guess what? You got through yesterday and you're still here. Got to go back again. And if by any chance there are some brothers or others you need to talk, that number right there. How did I get there? We are dealing with this attempt to, as I was saying a couple of seconds ago, that this administration is so committed. We have to integrate the reality of that. I was getting ready to talk about Coach Megan integration. And I was going to talk about the example of the elderly. And I thought about death. And it popped in my mind. I saw another death. Y'all help me correlate, because my brain on paper is interesting. If you tell an elderly person that someone is passed, they're going to mourn, they're going to feel it. But more than likely, 70, 75, 80-year-old has experienced so much death that either by intention and or practice of life, the concept of death is now integrated. And it's not that they're not touched or removed from the emotion. It's as simple as it is what it is. And it's not a defeatist and accepting the hurt, and not accepting the hurt and the missing. And in this case of what's going on, not accepting the inequity, the racism, the xenophobia, the anti-women's rights to their bodies, the lack of regard for just humanity. It does not negate what's wrong, and we just lie there and be walked over. But what we do is and it's Mental Health Monday, and we'll close out with this. For the purpose of our mental health and avoiding the triggers, we go through stress, hormones are released, and the impact of some of them shocks. It does us a little bit better to integrate, okay, this executive order came out. Okay. In the moment, if you got to, stop 10 seconds. Do that a couple of times, because in that moment is when the chemicals and stuff, because your body is in either fight or whether you are physically being attacked, all right, I'm going too deep. We can pray and move our feet. We can balance what information and energy comes into our space while also being knowledgeable. So I mentioned what I mentioned a few minutes ago. For us as a community to support others after the election, a lot of people didn't know what January 20th and 21st is going to look like. And there's the other side of this. That may just be that at CPAC. However, some people thought that Project 2025 was, and here we are. We're going to get ready to wrap up. Today was a lot, Jesus. How do I get out of here and not mess up? Hold on. Okay, I think I'm good. All right. Shout out to everybody over on Instagram. Going to check a couple of comments here. Lisa Marie White, Sister Asia said, well, let me go up a little bit so I can do this in order. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Neil, thank you for your contributions today. Michelle D. Smith, don't give in to fear mongering and the attempt to divide and conquer using his same old tire playbook that he's used his entire life. Got your number, not falling for the nonsense. The wrath of God is coming for. We ain't going nowhere. Milagro said this administration has a huge God complex. Hey, Keys. Good to see you in the building over on Instagram. To Asia's comment, trying to find where Asia. Oh, Neil made a couple of comments. Okay. Asia. The Trust Act. Miss Teresa, thank you. Whoa, shoot. In 2004. The Trust Act, enacted in 2014, made Boston a sanctuary city by prohibiting city police and other departments from cooperating with ICE and federal agencies on civil immigration detainers. Boom. Trust Act codified by law. Then the commissioner just said by state law. Now let's keep it 100. The governor told me to my face. He said, well, the state is not a sanctuary state. I said, because I really thought we were. And she's taken an interesting stance. Surprising to some, it surprised some to immigration. From a fiscal standpoint, she's a lawyer. Get it. All right, I can't find Asia's comment, so I'm going to go to, I seen a bully comment. I'm going to go there in a second. Liza, I'm sorry, said, hey, Sister Asia, here listening and working among multiple other. Oh, I thought y'all was talking. Y'all in here communicating, which I love that y'all do. Tyrone said they acting like bullies. You don't want to bully. And I mean, it just Boston, y'all. Boston is a very different place. I will just say that I am a Ari. I gotta get back to you. But we're I'll just reference to the beginning of your email. So where I'll check back. Good to see you in the room over on Instagram. What was the point that Tyrone made? Bully, Bully Boston. We don't. Oh, so if y'all remember a couple of years ago, there were counter protesters wanting to come into the city and counter the BLM, George Floyd, response to that and whatnot. And there was a group of brothers, a lot of them lighter than me, that thought that they were going to come in and wreak havoc in that march. Let me just tell y'all, that group of brothers had to be rushed into a paddy wagon for protection, and said paddy wagon couldn't move. And let me just, safety, abiding by the law, always priority. And that goes for any pushback around what I just said from some trolls, as well as this czar. Someone made reference earlier that he don't even know the law, let alone geographics. So we're going to go. Sister, not sister like church. Sister Cynthia, good to see you in the room this morning. Tyrone, thank you so much for your input. Yeah, we need to pay attention. For those of you with faith and positive vibes and whatnot, pray for our mayor. It's a lot. She put out a statement and said basically she unequivocally stands with the commissioner. So we're going to get Pam. I seen Pam pop over on Instagram. All right. Nisi said part 2 needed. Tomorrow is Tuesday. We'll be short tomorrow because I got to get up to Salem State. So Mental Health Monday. A lot of y'all didn't put y'all word in the comments for how you're feeling today. And you can put them now, but because we open this space, even if even if it's a lot, of course, seriously. But I only kind of say it like that because I know I just shared a lot of interesting information, and in the moment, it could have some influence on your mental status. So, but as I said, we got to stay aware, and we need to integrate this. And I've been heavy on the balance. I've been heavy on the joy side. I haven't really watched CNN more than, honestly, y'all. And for those of you that really know me, for me to watch, not during this time, for me to not watch CNN for more than 20 minutes is major. I do my little catch-ups on social, so I'm aware and need to know to make you all aware of. Not saying that you aren't aware. Key said that she is uneasy. Nisi said not phased or no phased. Centauria said that she is hopeful. Pastor Marion, hi Pastor Marion. She said that she is encouraged. Sharon said I haven't heard they needed the paddy wagon. I'm telling you, Boston was like, yo, not here, not today. All right. We're going to wrap up. Please keep Brother Donnell. I checked with him this morning. Let me just see if he got back. Not as of yet. Keep Brother Donnell in prayer. We were supposed to have a Java, black Java, no sugar, no cream, with a little after dark brew to it. But he was not able to make it, so please keep him in prayer. Also, as far as dates, March 22nd. I told the team last week, I said I didn't want to do this, but now there's no choice, that we're down to the wire and just got to get some stuff done. So look out for the tickets, look out for the survey for the Red Cup Awards. Get ready to let me know what your favorite episode is. We got some stuff coming, and it's a little last minute, but tickets will be $50 general, $100 for VIP. The Red Cup Awards. We're going to come together and celebrate 5 years of a blessing of consistent community impact. We've been consistent. This is a community, and this and within and externally, there has been impact from this platform, from the family that we have enjoyed here. Location will be announced soon. But when the tickets go out, everybody will be registered and you will get an email with the location. Of course, it's going to be in Boston with parking. So that's it for me. I think March 22nd is the next date that we have scheduled. We will let you know. ABCD will be coming in for a day session with us and after dark under the, we're going to switch it over soon. It's still a little cuffing season until we'll switch over to Hot Boy and Hot Girl Summer sometime and maybe Memorial Day weekend. Getting ready. So don't forget to cuff safely with all this going on. Some of our self-care is wrapped up in somebody else. Maybe that's why my self-care is suffering. No, so I'm messing. But do it safely because you don't want the added stress of either possible conception or conceiving a STI or HIV or all three. So cuff safely and know that there are kiosks available at 565 Warren Street, 714 110 Claiborne Street in Dorchester, 565 Warren Street in Roxbury, and 714 Parker Street in Boston. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, confidential testing information, and also the items you need to cuff safely. All right, folks, that's it for me today. We will see you tomorrow is Tuesday. We'll see you tomorrow for Testimony Tuesday at 10 a.m. Kicking off next week, we will be kicking off Women's History Month with more guests. And so I will let you all go and we will see you. It is 11 o'clock. So you all get, y'all get 90 minutes today. I'll hold on until I see 11:01. If you are not a member of Union Capital, look it up. They're a great community-based program. Eric Leslie's the executive director. They have pay equity for their staff. They're a good program. So check them out. All right, come on, 11:01. Do I have anything today? Alexa is at 0, Milagro. Y'all didn't hear that, did y'all? Oh, yo. That's please tell me y'all didn't hear that. I heard it and I got shoot. All right. It is 11:01. Okay, we can get ready to go. Okay, everything for tomorrow. All right, thank you all for being with us. We'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. here for Java with Jimmy. Okay, good. Hey, Misha. Y'all keep Misha in prayer too. She's healing up. Sharon said, Elder said a couple months ago for the Mother's Board. Listen, the first thing y'all on Mother's Board do, I love y'all, but this anniversary, there may be, but I know some of y'all on fixed incomes and all that, but I think that is it to me. I'm not being mean to Alexa. I put it on 0 earlier so we wouldn't be disrupted. Thank you, Michelle D. Smith. One last time, mental health status, faithful due to Psalm 37. Okay. Ma, I know I'm talking about. No, I'm messing. We will let y'all know. Aaron and them will be in touch. As I said before, don't nobody hit me about tickets. I'm not touching nothing with tickets, nothing at all. I'm keeping that away from me. Blah, 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 blah. All right. Sister Soraya, how are you? Don't do it too. Listen, mothers know y'all gonna have y'all little section and all that. Y'all will be good, but that ain't a conversation y'all need to be popping up here while I'm trying to get ready to sell tickets. Praise Jesus. No, sir. I love y'all. You make sure you did. I'm gonna go. Or y'all be trying to get 11:31. As I'm bringing up graphics here, I did see the graphic when we celebrated Brother Bum. I have not got word yet of his service. And so as soon as we do, we will make sure that you all are aware. All right. Definitely the last benediction. We are out of here and we will see you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Peace, everybody.